Hello, everyone, and we are back with the World Simulation Football Classic, second part of the first day of group stages. Is everyone excited? I know I am. We have some interesting matches coming up, and I think everyone is going to be enjoying the spectacle, the event, and the heartbreak, the possible heartbreak that the World Simulation Football Classic will be, as we have Eastern Europe versus Norden, a European affair. Let's see if these teams can make their home countries proud. It's going to be an exciting day. This group, some very European. It's almost like a European Championship. This group, so they'll be battling for the honor of Europe. As we started off with Eastern Europe kicking off this beautiful football game. We have Smalls going to Slottensen. Gets it to Capinas, who is offside there. Was definitely not being guarded that much. A lot of space there. Ekpol Gunnarsson. Skovgaard. And now Ruben. Ooh, Empire. Nice interception there. Has some space here to run down the ring. Tries to get it to Dobrich, but it doesn't quite get there. And Lind now. Pinkman is able to intercept, and Eastern Europe regains possession. As they are playing it in the back, slowly building up the... Okay, I've just noticed it's only been 2 minutes. The entire game has been a highlight so far. Interesting to see as Empire now walks up, gets there. Revest with a great save. Early doors in the game. And Empire 4 has a great opportunity there to put Norden in front. Eastern Europe in front. But a great save from Revest. Keeps the score at 0-0. Now Suzuki. Sommerwijn to Slottensen. Sommerwijn. Dobra. A lot of danger. Empire now to Dobrich. And another great save from Revest. Eastern Europe with some great attacking play. But Norden, mostly Revest so far, being able to keep them out. And now a header that goes wide. These first days are always very exciting. You can get a real feel of the power levels of the teams. As Smalls now has a chance. With Hakkinen with a very important interception there. Norden playing a little stressed. Giving the ball away. Way too easy. As Capinas now has a chance to cross it, but no one's there. There's no one there to tap it in. Or there were people, but they didn't respond quick enough. Eastern Europe is knocking at the door of Norden. Norden needs to get some air, needs to get some pressure off here. Or this will inevitably lead to a goal. Empire 4. I will say it is, I think it's 29 degrees. So maybe Norden is a little debuffed because of the heat. They're not used to that, of course. So now Skovgaard to Ruben. Ooh, Dobra intercepts. Now again, space here. Ruben to Sanji. Sanji, chance for a cross. Doesn't get it to the middle, but Norden regains possession, but then they lose it again. And now there are counter opportunities. Dobrich has the ball. Uses the pace, gets to the edge of the area, gets it to Suzuki, and Suzuki scores! It's a nice attack, nicely played out by Eastern Europe. And a clinical finish from Suzuki. Nice burst of pace there from Dobrich. And Suzuki just had to lift his leg, and that was in the back of the net. Excuse me. Definitely a deserved goal for Norden, as Sommerwine has a crack from distance. You love to see it. Now Dobrich with the corner. This is it. Another corner. I will say I'm a little disappointed in the turn-up numbers. There's a lot more empty seats there than I would have expected. Crossing in. First half hour, Norden has not been able to produce anything, unfortunately for them. And Eastern Europe seems to be in control up until this point, but anything can happen. You only need a moment of brilliance, and maybe this is going to be the moment. As Skovgaard gets the ball to Ahmed, back to Ruben, nice, and there's the first shot on goal, or at least not on goal, shot near the goal that Norden was able to take. Corner from Dobrich. Oh, and it's in! Coin flip scores! Let's see this in the replay. All this practice on the corners from Dobrich finally paying off. Coin flip. Yeah. The tall man just gets a little higher and heads that in the back of the net. Nicely done, and just before halftime, Eastern Europe make it 2-0. And they are going to be very pleased with that. Dobrich so far 2 assists. Suzuki and coin flip scoring. And Norden so far not having the greatest opening game. But 45 minutes is a long time. A lot can happen there. So we take a little break. Players decompress. Maybe some final words from the coaches, informing them of the strategies, whatever they need to do. See, Brett Lasso substituted for Slottenson, and then 3 substitutes for Norden. You do like to see the managers making use of their substitutions, of course. Now let's see if these players are the ones that can bring the fire back to Norden and put some excitement in this game, or if Eastern Europe will keep going and run away with it. As Emperor now has... Ooh, that's looking like a penalty. Uh-oh. The referee is going to check it. Let's see if VER and VAR says no penalty. Norden counting themselves lucky there. As we go nearing to the 60th minute. Skovgaard now. Norden with a corner. Oh, and it's a bicycle kick from Ekholm Gunnarsson. He could have made himself an SSL legend if he just scored that. I think that's a second attempted overhead kick I've seen in the World Simulation Football Classic. I think players are really trying to show off on the big stage at this point. Dobridge now. Nice block from Ekholm Gunnarsson. Doing it all right now. On one side of the field going for an overhead and then great defensive work. Now Dobridge to the corner. This time it does not reach the target. Dobridge. Dobridge to Lasso. Lasso. Shot from distance. Woo. 70 minutes played now. Can Norden pull something out of a rabbit hat? Wait, what did I just say? I mean, can Norden pull a rabbit out of the hat? Maybe it's Showman that's going to do it. Does not get it to the man where he needs to get it. Norden, unfortunately, just seeming to lack that little bit of quality at the end. As Lasso intercepts once again. Eastern Europe might be one of the dark horses this tournament. Plays very well, and they definitely have some standout players. As Sommerwine now. Chance for a shot. He has a lot of space, and it gets deflected. It gets deflected, and it goes in. But those goals count too. And that is Eastern Europe 3, Norden 0. That should be game, set, and match. Let's see this in the replay. Ryan, who does he hit? Does he hit his own player? Or? Yeah, oh, he hits Petter Lind. He is lucky to not get a own goal for that one. Stumpy. Sommerwine. Dobra now. Shoots. Reverse to the save. Dobridge. Go into the last couple minutes of the game. Eastern Europe really at no point looked in danger. Ooh, nice save there from Rivest. Almost made it 4. Would be nice for Norden to get a little goal there, but I think the referee is about to blow the whistle. And he does, as Eastern Europe win their first World Simulation Football Classic match 3-0 against Norden. And at the moment, they will be topping their group because the rest hasn't played yet, as far as I'm aware. And that was the first match of the night. Off to the second one, which should be Eurasia versus Central Europe. Like I said, very Eurocentric group. I guess Eurasia is only partly Europe, but still. It is really the battle of Europe, and who is going to come out on top? Only time will tell. So go into the second match, Eurasia versus Central Europe. I think honestly this group might be the hardest to call. I think all 4 of these teams have a shot to make it out. Just as all 4 of these teams have a shot to not make it out. And I just checked Eurasia actually running. Oh, Hohenheim. Chance already. A little bit of a mistake by Kabiri. Hohenheim. Eurasia keeping with the strikerless formation. I assumed there was something they only ran for the friendlies, but I think they believe in it. So I guess we'll see how that will work out for them. Against Sterney. As Klose. Oh, it's beautiful. But is it offside? If it's not, that's a beautiful team goal. That pass was incredible, and that control from Klose. I'm kind of hoping it's going to be allowed. It's disallowed. So unfortunate. Oh, I wish we can see it at least. It's Geisberg with just a pinger of a pass. And Klose completely outspaced Kabiri, but he was indeed a little offside. Or corner now. Hohenheim. Bamford for Eurasia. Kaniki. Ooh. Chevalier shoot it up in the sky. Kiziltas now to Al-Kazmi. Go ahead. Ooh, shot from distance. And Eurasia testing the waters here a little bit. Feeling Central Europe out. Kuniki. Does not trouble Kabiri all too much, but it does lead to a corner. Corner taken. Ooh, Hohenheim gets close, but heads it into the side netting. So we have a highlight-heavy game here. Both teams coming out swinging. Not having the greatest opportunities yet, but they are coming. And they are testing each other's defense. Shaheen. To Kudnar. Hohenheim. He's all free. He shoots and he scores. Thomas Hohenheim. He couldn't do it in the friendlies, but he's doing it when it matters most. Brings Central Europe to 1-0 ahead. Very nice finish. Nice pass. And you do expect Hohenheim to finish those balls, and he did just that. Millwall now. Clark. Ooh, Kuniki. Challenge for a corner kick. Husikin. Clark. Gets it in the middle. Kudnar tries it. Nashilan Ganko putting life and limb on the line. Pressure keeping up here from Central Europe though. Kudnar to Honan again. And Honan scores again. And that was an absolute power shot in the bottom corner. Very similar to the first goal. And Central Europe seems to be getting into this game. Kudnar gets it on. He just insta first time shoots it. Completely catching Kabiri off guard. Very well played. Very well done. Volkan Kizitas. Tank Denstro. Commentator. Let's see if Eurasia could do something here. We have Shaheen going down the wing. Nice back heel pass to Cohen. Cohen gets past Millwall and shoots, but it goes over. That's the first real opportunity, I think, from Eurasia. Let's see if they can keep this tiny bit of momentum they just gained. Chevalier. Clark. To Goodnar, and oh, all of a sudden, there's another goal from Central Europe, and this might get ugly. Unless the referee says something about it, or the VAR, they do not, and it's 3-0. Central Europe playing amazing football right now. Some real good passing. Playing Eurasia off the mat right now. (3-0) for Central Europe, showing them showing the world that they might be the favorites in this group. As Hohenhan gets no, not Hohenhan, close. I think maybe Hohenhan was offside. That's why he let the ball go. But that could have easily been 4-0. Pussykin now. That's it to Shaheen. Shot from Volkan. That's a nice one. Satoshi has to go for that. Pussykin again. Crosses it. Satoshi. Now there's a counter opportunity here. Clark. There's a lot of people forward here. Hohenhan in box. Kuniki in the box. Grudner in the box. Kuniki gets the ball. Kuniki gets the ball again. Kabiri. What did Kabiri do? And it's a goal for Zoe Clark. Oh no. Drama. Drama. Drama for Kabiri. Really made a meal out of that one. Let's see this again. Clark crosses. Gets to Kuniki. And then Kabiri. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Maybe the pressure of a nation got a little too much for him. But that is unfortunate for him. As Central Europe make it 4-0 in the first half. Like I said, this might get ugly if it hasn't already, which it kind of has. I think at this point it is imperative for Eurasia to just stop the bleeding. Don't let this get out of hand. Put some people in the back. Clark cross. Oh, that was almost a beautiful goal from Geisberg where they got blocked. So we go almost in the final 5 minutes of this first half. Will there be more action happening this half? Millwall. Hannibal. Shaheen. Oh, and it's a goal. George Shaheen. Gets it in the back of the net. Really unexpected. But Eurasia got one back. And that's going to be an important one for morale. Nice finish from Shaheen. Well played. And that is the end of the first half. Like I said, very nice for Eurasia to get on the board there. George Shaheen with a nice run. But realistically, this has been Central Europe's match, and they have looked really good. I'm going to be using this word a lot during this tournament, but Central Europe, I think, also a dark horse to win it all. I don't think they're favorites in any stretch of the imagination. With Hohenheim, Gutnar, Klose, Chevalier, Geisberg, Walker, it's good players. They have a good, solid team. No real deficiencies in the team. And even though they don't have too many of the big stars, they are good enough to have a shot, and they are showing it right now. It's going to be interesting to see if the second half brings more excitement, or we're going to have a little bit of a saving of the energy for Central Europe. I'm usually against that. I think it's always good to get as much confidence as you can. So let's see what the strategy for Central Europe is. Geisberg to Clark. Clark crosses it. Doesn't get the Smith. Walker to Geisberg. Geisberg to Clark. Clark. Oh, what happens there? Oh, and it ends up at Hohenheim. The ball went to Chevalier, but it ends up at Hohenheim, and Hohenheim finishes. And I think this answers my question. I don't think Central Europe is gonna put the foot on the brakes, get the foot off the pedal. I don't know. One of these two. They're gonna go full force. That is what it comes down to. Because Hohenheim scores in the first 40 seconds of the second half, getting his hat trick and making it 5-1 for Central Europe. Oh, Geisberg, interception, beautiful interception, and then I think he panicked a little bit. He got a little nervous. Schmidt now. Going for a little walkabout in the penalty area, but it works. Gets a shot off. Clark now. Woo. Hits the top of the netting of the goal. Gohan to Fiatra to Denstro. Hohenheim now. I don't know what tank Denstro was passing to, but it ends up at Millwall. Kuniki. Close. Geisberg to Smith. Ooh, Clara Smith almost with another goal there. Another goal for Central Europe, that is, as we have now watched 63 minutes of this beautiful match. So far, both matches have been dominant performances from the two teams. If you had to go off just today, I would say Central Europe and Eastern Europe look like the favorites to go out of this group. Ooh, Fiatra. Mashilangenko gets it over there. Shaheen heads it in. George Shaheen heads it in. And he gets the second goal there for Eurasia. It is still 2-5, but he is going to be very happy. I think Satoshi kind of did not understand what was happening there for a second, which is uncommon for Satoshi. He's usually a rock in that goal. But Eurasia can be happy scoring another goal, and Shaheen can be very happy scoring his second of the night. As now Klose has the ball. And Hohenheim scores his fourth goal of the game. Didn't even give Eurasia a minute to celebrate their goal, as they immediately get one back after kickoff. seems cruel at that point. Nicely finished by Hohenhan. Like I said, in the friendlies he has not shown up, but I think he was just saving his power for the main event because he has been popping off so far. Hannibal with a dangerous pass back to Kabiri. I don't know what he was thinking there. Millwall. Gijsberg. Ooh, a lot of space for Smith. Can she get to the ball? Gets it to Kabiri, or it gets intercepted by Kabiri. Okoro. So she kicks it. Closer. Chevalier. Oh, shot from distance. Hits the top of the goal. Burkan. Oh, Al-Kazmi. Neshilangenko. Crosses it. Ooh, it almost gets to the man it needs to get to. But it gets cleared. Eurasia admittedly testing the waters a little bit in the second half. Getting that goal. Having some chances. Putting some pressure on Central Europe. You love to see it. And now Neshilangenko. Chance for a shot. Oh, and it hits the post. Nice shot. Unfortunately, they don't have an end result. And then Cohen with another shot. Satoshi having to save that one. Eurasia doing well these last couple minutes. Showing that they have some bite in there. Shaheen! George Shaheen scores his hat-trick. It's going to be a memorable day for him. Even though the score is 3-6, I think Shaheen is going to look back on this match with pride, with excitement, and with love. Love for his nation. As he put Eurasia on 3 and Central Europe still being on 6. Very impressive in a game with not that many chances for Eurasia. He has been the one to score all of them. We now have Kuniki, Al-Kazmi. Go ahead. Millwall. Gijsberg. Clark has a lot of space here. Shoots, and Zoe Clark scores. Gets another one as well. And it is now 3-7, a 10-goal game. Nice run from Clark. And a clinical finish. Gijsberg. Clark. To Hohenhan, and Hohenhan scores. Okay, Central Europe in the last 10 minutes is still just fully going for it as they make it 8-3. Hohenhan with his 5th goal, maybe? I think so. Incredible. Looking for that golden boot. Yeah, his 5th goal of the game. Clark with the corner. Smith. Ooh. Oh, and Hohenhan again as they make it 9. Hohenhan with 6 goals, a double hat-trick in this game. Unbelievable. I think it's going to be hard to catch him in the Golden Boot race, honestly. If we're going to have results like this. 9-3. Certainly not the score you would expect for football, but what did I just see? The player of the match is Zoe Clark. Shaheen, shout out to Shaheen though. George Shaheen with 3 goals. Zoe Clark, player of the match. Thomas Hohenhan, 6 goals. He did not get player of the match. You love to see that. Really appreciating those 3 assists she got. Wow, that was probably pretty rough to watch if you are a Eurasia fan, and a pretty good day if you're a Central Europe fan. And I think for the neutrals, it was also fun to watch. We will now be moving on to Group B, where we will start off with Asia versus Central America. I think both these groups are the most interesting ones. I think Group C and Group D, they all have like two teams that are like really, really strong. Where I feel like in Group B as well, like I think there's a chance any of these teams go through. Maybe Central America is going to struggle a little bit. But certainly South America, Canada, and Asia have an opportunity. And the same thing for Group A. I think all 4 have a shot. But let's see. Maybe I will be wrong. Maybe in this battle between Asia and Central America, we will see that Central America and Caribbean has some tooth, some fight, some bite. I didn't realize the Canadian name was Region of Canada. There we go. It is Asia kicking off. I think. Yeah. No. It's not. It was Central America kicking off. I'm confused with the colors. Excuse me. Let's see if we're going to have another goal fest or a more relaxed affair here. Asia definitely has some fighters as well. Hashimoto on the left wing back at like 2% on the right fullback position. They have Ashito Aoi, Wang Zihao, Warwick. It's a bunch of really good players. Names everyone recognizes from the SSL. However, this game so far has been very quiet. Not a single highlight until the 31st minute. And now Emerson gets it to Aoi. And great save from Aguilera. That really could have been a 1-0 already. Well, already I say. It has already been 30 minutes with nothing so far except for that first chance here. As Asia take the lead in XG, but not the lead in actual goals. Bunsen with the free kick. Gets deflected and it goes out for a corner. Corner taken. Ooh, Aguilera having to do another great save. At like 2%. Crossed in. Oh, Aguilera is just diving after dive after dive, having to make these saves. And finally it is collected. Aguilera, of course, going to be a very important player for Central America and the Caribbean. Probably their best player, or one of. I just realized as well, I see Xusu Young on the bench for Central America and Caribbean. You love to see that. Rookie player just got drafted to Hollywood and already playing in the World Simulation Football Classic. You love to see managers and coaches just putting some trust, some faith in the young ones. As we have at like 2%, kicking it off for Asia in the second half of a very low-key affair so far. Hashimoto with a run. Keeps running. Shoots it, but it gets blocked. Might have gotten blocked by Emerson, actually. We are now going into the 60th minute. And I think I might have underestimated Central America because they are holding their own so far against Asia. Keeping it fully level. Having some chances sometimes. Of course, they did have to be saved a couple times by Aguilera, but, you know, goalkeeper is a position that's very important. And if you have a good player there, that's going to give you some advantage. As at like 2%, crosses it in to Warwick. Easy collection for Aguilera. Now at like 2% with a corner. Gets the ball back to Panda. Shoots from distance. Ooh, Aguilera had to stretch for that one. Another corner. In the 67th minute for Hashimoto. Tosses it in. Aguilera able to collect once again. Aguilera with a 7.5 rating. Some definite great saves. Just been a rock in the back so far. At like 2% has been a danger on those wings, running down. See if he can get it in again. It's to Emerson. Emerson heads it over. There's only 15 minutes left. I think Asia needs to step up the pressure a little bit. I think they do want to get a result here. As Aoi has another nice shot at goal, but once again his teammate Aguilera saves it. Hashimoto now goes out for another corner. There's been loads and loads of corners for Asia specifically. Again. Giron is able to get it out for now. Ten minutes left. Now Mustache Maldonado. Maybe there's some chances here for Central America and Caribbean. Munoz, there's some space here. Gets it to Tabotso. Tabotso shoots. Oh no! It was almost in. Takeshi just saves that. And that would have been dramatic in the last 10 minutes of the game. Now there's a corner for Central American Caribbean. Can they do the upset? Can they do the magic? Another corner. This would be a great upset. And a big boost to Central America. Akachutu. Aoi is able to intercept. And now there's a lot of space for Aoi. Basically alone on the field. But Central America is able to run back fast enough. At like 2%. Wrong. Oh! And in the last 5 minutes, it is still Asia who makes the decisive goal here. Aguilera couldn't save them now, as there's some messing around right in front of the goal, and Warwick is able to see that ball and get it in there. As Asia most likely gets the win here. Four minutes of added time. Is there still a chance for the CAC to equalize here? Mustache Maldonado doesn't get it to Munoz. Kapotzli. Oh my god. For some reason I thought Aguilera walked the ball into the net. Or behind the line, I mean, over the line. But it was just offside. And with that, it will be the first match of Group B done. Asia 1, America, Caribbean 0. They were able to hold on for so long. Even got a big chance right at the end there. But then in the final 5 minutes, Asia got the goal. And is able to get a full 3 points of this. It's going to be disappointing for CAC when there was definitely a world where they get 1 point. And there was even an opportunity to get 3 points. However, I think the CAC can be happy. They did not get overrun. And they put on a valiant performance here. And we will go on to the final match of this match day. South America versus Canada. Now this is exciting. I think Group B, Asia is the favorite. And Central America is the favorite to be bottom. And these two teams, I think, are going to be fighting for second place. So this is immediately a match that could be incredibly, incredibly important. So let's see how they stack up to each other. So we have South America led by Neymarinho, his striker. And then Canada with McNeil on the wing. Neymarinho. Da Silva. Instantly some space here. A shot. Does not trouble Walt Jr. at all, but showing some good intention there. Getting a shot off right away. Kirkpatrick now. Francis. Fuecoco. Shoots. Walt Jr. has to stretch for that and get it out for a corner. Neymarinho. Francis blocks it. Da Silva. Madueke. Scraper. Ball. McNeil heads it, but Lewis Jr. intercepts. Neymarinho with the dribbles. Whew. Shoots from distance. Some nice dribbling there from Neymarinho. Expected, of course, from the Brazilian. Scraper to ball. South America definitely been the strongest team so far. As for Coco, shot gets blocked, and that's why it went all the way there, I assume. Corner now for South America. For Coco. Ooh, Wall Jr. having to stretch for that again. He has been important so far. I think, like, no... Well, I wouldn't say no team. There is one team that I think is lacking, but like most teams have managed to grab a really good goalkeeper. There's been good goalkeeper performances so far in pretty much every match I've seen. And oh, what is this? Some drama. Madueke goes down in the area, and it appears that the referee is gonna check VAR to see if that's a penalty. Let's see. And it's a penalty awarded. Oh, I didn't quite catch exactly what happened. But all of a sudden, against the run of play, Canada has a penalty. Is Sinclair able to finish? And he finished coolly. And Canada 1-0 up against South America. This could be a massive decision from the referee that really puts Canada in the driving seat of this match. Sinclair slots it away easily. And all of a sudden, all the pressure, all the attacks, all the shots, all the chances that South America had do not matter anymore, because Canada is the team that is ahead, and Canada wants more here. South America is able to clear. And now Neymarinho. Francis. Commentator. Neymarinho. Ooh, and it just goes wide. Da Silva. Nitidero. Kirkpatrick. So we go into the final 10 minutes of the first half. It is still Canada who is leading, South America chasing, but South America has had most of the opportunity so far and the biggest chances, except for the penalty, of course. So I don't think they're going to go down without a fight. I think Canada does not have the luxury to just sit back for the next 55 minutes. That's not going to be sustainable, as Riveros now gets across it, and immediately Carolina Salazar finishes that beautifully, and the scores are level once again. You could just feel a goal being in the air, and it falls right here as South America equalizes in the 36th minute. Riveros. Salazar just gets completely free, and there's nothing for Wall Jr. to do there. And that will most likely be it for the first half. It is nice to see a close and exciting game today as well. There have been some blowouts till this point. And even though South America has looked the better team in the end, it is still 1-1 at this point, showing that Canada can get their little chances, their little licks in. It's going to be interesting to see in the second half. Going to be more of that. Canada going to get more into the game, or is South America going to start finishing their chances? So you head off to the second half. Kick off from Canada. Xavier Da Silva. Oh, Crouch all of a sudden. Oh, and it's a goal from Carolina Salazar. Second goal. I need to see this in a replay. That was a little chaotic, a little hectic here. Francis Cooch able to intercept, but gets it to Salazar, and Wall Jr. had already come out the goal to collect the ball. A little miscommunication for the defense there, very unfortunate. And it is 2-1 for South America. Honestly, looking at the stats, it is certainly deserved. They have been the best team so far. Xavier Lewis Jr. McNeil now with a lot of space. Velestrin Smith is in the middle. Oh no, not again, right? I think that's gonna not be a penalty. That looks very soft. But you never know what VAR is gonna say. Oh, he's given it. I didn't even realize. And all of a sudden, Canada has another chance to equalize. Sinclair steps up, shoots, and he scores. And it is drama. It is drama in this game. There's going to be some pundits talking about there. There's going to be some comments on Reddit, on Twitter, and on Facebook. Because that decision was questionable. For sure. But Canada doesn't mind, because Canada has equalized once again. Once again, completely against the run of play. At this point, maybe it is deserved, as Velestrin Smith now has a chance. Tries to get it in. There have been a mass amount of penalties in both the friendlies as well so far in this football classic. That's McNeil now. Ball. Oh, Velestrin Smith scores for Canada and gets one up on South America, as it's now 3-2 for Canada. Unbelievable. Out of nowhere. They had been the worst team for the entire game, and now suddenly they're rejuvenated, they're excited, and Velestrin Smith finishes that beautifully in the side netting. Unsavable by Condors. Incredible, and this is drama, this is football, people. It don't matter who has the most XG, it don't matter who has the most shots or possession, clear-cut chances, whatever. It matters who has the most goals, and right now Canada has the most goals. But Francis is trying to do something about that, while Jr. having to do a beautiful save. Salazar. Crossed in, but had it over. Francis. For Coco. Oh, Nemorino's all the way free, but maybe offside. Offside. He also missed. Nemorino, who was expected to be the main man, the important player for South America, has not done anything today so far. Maybe the pressure of a nation is getting to him. As we go into the final 3 minutes, there's 3 minutes of extra time. Will Canada be able to perform this upset and hold on to their lead? Mandragoran. They just need to get this time away, but they deliver the ball straight to South America. Mitidero shoots. Volta now. Crosses it in. Mograin. Cooch. And it seems to me that that's going to be the end of it. And it is Canada with a beautiful comeback victory here. They are going to be absolutely chuffed with this. And I think the South American fans are not going to be. Maybe a questionable penalty. And I think in general South America really had more chances and should have finished some of them. It's been a very exciting match. It's been a very exciting match day, all things considered. Some blowouts, a lot of blowouts, to be fair. But then to end it off with one of these games that is just a nail-biter through and through with an unexpected winner, you love to see it. Shout out to Maggie Sinclair, 8.0 rating, 2 goals. Instrumental for Canada. and it's been a very pleasure to be able to host this for you guys. I will be hopefully returning back tomorrow, and hopefully you guys will as well. This has been MC Lumberjack, your host, for the second part of the match day in the group stage for the Football for World Simulation Football Classic. And you can take a little look. No draws yet in the table. And I hope everyone has a very nice night. Good night, and see you next time.